Here are the features for the 0.8.18 and 0.8.19 release. You know, the 0.8.18 release was just supposed to be bug fixes for the 0.8.17 release, but every time we dive back in, we always find something new we can add. So here's what we got. We now support all the raw rules as written armor divisors and infinite, which you enter by using a -1. The Armor Divisor selection is a pull-down menu, and these are all of the raw options. We also support the various Hardened DR levels up to 6. What started as an upgrade to allow you to include perception-like attributes in the skill tree checks became basically a grand unification of all the skill parsing code. So now you can include any of the perception checks, fright check, dodge, parry, and block inside of a skill tree check, and it will go from left to right, finding the best roll for that character and rolling it. And of course, it can include the conditional text, either just one for the whole check, or each check can have its own individual conditional text. And we've added the ability to cost fatigue to any skill or spell check. So you could edit this balanced throwing axe and add cost 1 fatigue after the skill check. And when Bog rolls this, his fatigue is 16. It now goes to 15. This is probably most applicable on a spell, but it can be applied anywhere you have a skill check. If a player, not a GM, right mouse clicks on anything rollable, the on-the-fly formula will be copied into the chat input window. So here I will right mouse click on the balanced throwing axe. The reason we did this is now the player can take this and add it to a macro of their own design. We've added the select chat command, which allows you to select an actor for later chat manipulation, you know, with the HP command or the FP command. But it has to be an exact match on the name. So this will select Goblin 1. There's Goblin 1, but then Goblin parentheses 5 and Goblin parentheses 4. So I can select Goblin 1, and to select Goblin 4, I could do something like this with wildcards. Now this select is for the GURPS LastActor indicator, not for token selection. And the select command defaults to just looking at tokens on the current scene. If you want to select any actor in your list of actors, you would append an exclamation point at the end, like this. We'd previously added the status command, where you can set statuses on the selected tokens, like this, shock 4. And now we've just added the clear command, which will clear all statuses from the selected tokens. And we've added a few other minor features. I was always bothered by this space between encumbrance and lifting, so I used it. If you double click on this space, you basically have one input field to enter in values. The text can be anything, but if it includes an on-the-fly formula, it is, of course, parsed and usable. We fixed control rolls so that they can be rolled blind. I have no idea how we missed that one. And we added a system setting that makes the player's chat commands private. By default, the GM's chat commands for HP, FP, etc. are private, but the players are public. If, however, you're the GM and you trust your players and you don't want to dirty up your chat log, you can check this and all of the player chat commands will be private. And saving the best for last, Nick added one of the coolest features to the resource tracker editor. If you edit a resource tracker, you can now define your own custom thresholds. So if you're playing, say, with Douglas Cole's fantastic dungeon grappling, and you need to keep track of control points, you can use one of the resource trackers to keep track of the control points and define your own thresholds. Nick actually talked with Douglas Cole and got these condition names for control points. And this is just the beginning. We're going to include this into the on-the-fly formula and damage tracking so that you can apply damage to it and make rolls against it. There will be more information on how to set it up in the documentation, of course, when I get around to editing the documentation. And as always, we put in bug fixes. Anytime anybody reports a bug in Discord, we look at it and try to fix it as fast as we can. Hopefully you will enjoy these new features. And as always, thank you for watching.